Everybody has their weak spot. Dad drummed that into me when he taught me to box. I was smaller than the other boys, but he showed me that even the most frightening opponents have a hole in their defense, some place that's not covered, a mistake they're doomed to repeat. He also taught me that it isn't enough just to find that spot. In addition, you have to have a heart that's cold enough to exploit it without hesitation. And right there you had my weak spot. A heart that bled for people like me, that recognized all weakness as my own. But I learned, and my heart chilled. And now you could say my heart is an ice-cold, stone-dead volcano that had its last and final eruption 8 years ago. And even then it was cold. Cold enough to make me a killer already back then. That's what was going through my head as I stood on the steps outside a villa with a garage and an orchard tinged in autumn colours and shell sauce in northern Oslo. That I'm a killer. It was Saturday night, almost 8 o'clock, and I'd just pressed my thumb against the bell on the front door. Directly beneath the bell was a heart-shaped ceramic shell that said, "The Halden family live here," along with a smiley. I don't know whether I was thinking about being a killer because I already had a guilty conscience, or to reassure myself that what I was about to do was something I was capable of doing. I'd done worse before. My heart started beating faster as I heard the footsteps inside. Easy now. Just think fuck everything and get it over with. The door opened. "Yes, good evening. Can I help you?" The man was tall, a lot taller than my 175. Slender, almost skinny. Grey hair, youngish face. 41, I'd checked. I saw 2 snowsuits hanging on hooks behind him, with shoes for adults and kids strewn across the floor in typical organized chaos. According to the registration information I'd found on the net, they'd owned the house for 4 years. I guessed Bent Halden's wife wanted the place because they needed more room once number 2 was on the way. At least that was how I interpreted her Instagram account. And he'd always wanted something a bit higher up the hill because it was closer to running and skiing country. A Google search turned up his name as a participant in several local ski and orienteering events. But the last one was a few years back, so there was presumably less time now for that kind of thing than he'd planned. Partly because 2 kids are more than twice as much work as 1. Mostly because the company he'd started with a colleague named Jon Fuhr took up more, not less, of his time than before they became their own bosses. It's just a guess, but I doubted I was too far off. Their company was called Geodata, and they had been commissioned to examine the geology around Tudde, in connection with the tunnel being built to replace the road that ran straight through the middle of Oz, as it had done as far back as people could remember, long before it was classified as an A road in 1931. I moistened my lips. "Roy Opgard. Don't know if you remember me." I tried to give him my friendly, maybe slightly anxious country bumpkin in the big city face. Not my speciality. I'm guessing I looked like a Roy anyway. A bit dark, closed, reserved. Fortunately for me, it seems to be a type Norwegians trust, probably because we think there's some correlation between being shy and socially inept and honesty. Well, that's the way I think, too, so that's okay. Bent gave a long, drawn-out, "Ah," that was somewhere between a yes and a not sure. "I fixed your car when you were working in Oz," I added. Bent swished his finger through the air. "Of course, and you made a really good job of it, too." The skin in his forehead folded into several V-shaped rolls. "Didn't the money come through?" "Oh, yes, yes." I tried a little laugh. "Sorry, I probably should have called you first, but that's the way we do things out in the sticks, you know. Just turn up on your doorstep and ring the bell. But I've been in Poland, just got back, and since I was in town I remembered I had something of yours in my glove compartment.